And as committeeman, I voted to fund the project. And as a recreation commissioner, I voted to recommend the construction. Children and adults alike are now using and enjoying the Brickyard Fields, and I'm proud to be part of its creation. During my first term on the committee, I was one of 5 committeemen who voted to award the contract to build the Hanover Municipal Campus. I was here when we broke ground, and I helped oversee the design and construction of the new police headquarters, municipal offices, and the Whippany Library, Whippany Library as it's called. I served on the committee when the police headquarters, town hall, and library were opened in 2002, even though my name was maliciously omitted from the commemorative plaque. While I served as Director of Public Works, I introduced, promoted, and helped fund a lunchroom for our DPW workers, a space they never had and certainly deserved, especially when they are called in to salt and plow our roads during an emergency snowstorm. While I served on the Landmark Commission, I helped promote the Welcome to Hanover signs now located around the township. I also helped promote funding for the first project to restore the oldest gravestones in northwestern New Jersey at the old 1718 Whippany Graveyard. I wrote and sponsored the Hanover Tree Code that helps prevent the indiscriminate cutting of trees and promotes planting incentives to replace new trees and save forested land. I initiated the first tree planting program in Hanover when we planted over 150 trees at no cost to taxpayers throughout the township and in our parks. And since then, we planted hundreds more trees along Ridgehill Avenue, Parsippany Road, and Troy Hills Road, and periodically provide free trees to our residents. I wrote and sponsored the Hanover Buffer Ordinance that provides natural transition green belts between adjoining incompatible zones and protects the landscape and suburban character of Hanover. I have long fought to prevent the expansion of the Morristown Airport located in Hanover Township, and I helped defeat the construction of 3 hangar projects in the wetlands of Black Meadows. I've also lobbied to prevent the development of the 72-acre, 1.5-mile Route 24 expansion. I've championed leasing the land for trails and acquiring the land for open space preservation. Last year, after the original ill-planned, extremely dense and intensive development zone for the Whippany Village ordinance failed as a result of public opposition, I volunteered to write a compromise Whippany Center zone ordinance. Earlier this year, the rewritten Whippany Center ordinance passed with no public opposition, and the construction has now begun to transform a blighted area on Route 10 into a vibrant community center. This year, I sponsored the #1 resolution of the New Jersey League of Municipalities to amend state-mandated binding arbitration, which has taken the control of negotiating salaries and wages out of the hands of municipal government and school boards and allows arbitrators to dictate what salaries, benefits, and cost of living raises should be given to teachers and police. The Hanover Township Committee works as a committee, so no one committeeman can claim an accomplishment without the support of the majority of the committee. So I want to acknowledge that everything that I accomplished through my years and my influence are accomplishments of the Township Committee. After serving all these years on the Hanover Township Committee, my only regret is that politics so often plays a role in our Hanover government deliberations and decisions, and that current sitting and former committee members work so hard to campaign against and oust dedicated public servants from this Township Committee because of opposing views. During all the years I served, there has always been a rift within the Township Committee, 2 opposing cliques. There have always been those who want to tax and spend, those who want to conserve taxes, and always the wrangling of how much to spend and how to spend it. And also there's been those who want to promote the development of Hanover for either economic or political gain, and those who want to control its growth to retain its ambiance as a quiet suburban community. Development and politics usually run together. When politically connected developers contract or buy land zoned for a particular use and then seek to convince friends and associates on the planning board and township committee to change the zones. Sometimes it's in the public interest, but more often than not, it's for higher housing densities, greater building coverage, and greater profits. Throughout my years on the Township Committee, I've fought against inappropriate development, and I will continue to fight for what has come to be called smart growth. The former mayor, who's in our audience today, sometimes joked that if Len Fariello had his way, Hanover would be nothing more than teepees and dirt roads. Well, I won't go that far, but I will admit that I have been passionate and outspoken about controlling overdevelopment in Hanover. I have been called an animal lover and a tree hugger, and although my name callers may have thought they were hurling insults at me, I'm proud of my convictions and the stance I have taken as a three-term member of this governing body. Last year, for the first time in 10 years, the Township Committee decided to forgo the political cronyism that had dominated the committee for so many years and renew the tradition of rotating the position of mayor. As senior member of the Township Committee, I was chosen to serve as mayor this past year. I only hope the committee stays the course and continues the rotation by seniority and not let politics get in the way of what is fair and just. And although the Township Committee is an ever-changing, evolving body of personalities, being a member of this committee should not be about politics and serving special interests and those with political connections, but about what is best for the committee and the community. So I am publicly praying for a committee of utmost cooperation and respect of one another for the next upcoming decade. It is my prayer for the future that the Township Committee could all be friends and not just a union of divisive individuals brought together by the voting public.